Hello students, today we are doing some Ncert exercise question of the chapter structure of the atom. In the first question we have to compare the properties of electron, protons and neutron. Now the first, if we see the name electron, proton, neutron, it is represented by the symbol electron. It is denoted by E, P and the N. Now if you see the absolute charge in the coulomb, it is 1.6 into 10 to the power minus 19 coulomb and 1.6 10 to the power minus 19 coulomb. The absolute charge, if you consider, is the same, but only difference is that here is the negative sign, here is the positive sign. So the relative charge of the electron can be considered as -1, proton as the +1 and the neutron, the charge will be 0. And their mass is 9.1 multiplied 10 to the power minus 31 of the electron and 1.672 multiplied 10 to the power minus 27 and is the same mass as that of the neutron. Okay, so this is the comparison between the electron, proton and the neutron. Now next we are considering what is the limitation of the Thomson model of the atom. Okay, now Thomson model of the atom actually was satisfactory, but the results of the experiment carried out could not explain by the model. The postulates of the postulate which is given by the other scientists, it was not proved by the Thomson, so it was its limitation, so his theory was failed. Now the next we have to study what is the limitation of the Rutherford model of the atom. Now Rutherford model already we have discussed that in that alpha scattering experiment Rutherford have passed the alpha particle through the he has passed the alpha particle through the gold foil. Okay, now according to the electromagnetic theory, a move charged particle such as electron under the influence of attractive force lose energy. It means that while the electrons it is revolving, it lose energy, and a stage will come when this nucleus should fall, when this electron should fall inside the nucleus. Okay, but it does not happen. But this statement it was given by the Rutherford, so this theory was again failed. Okay, now according to the Rutherford, the electron revolved around the nucleus in a fixed orbit. Rutherford did not specify the number of orbit and number of electron. Okay, he has only told that the electrons revolved around the nucleus in the fixed orbit, but about the K, L, M and shell was not given by the Rutherford. Okay, so this was the drawback of the Rutherford experiment. Okay, now next we are discussing about the Bohr's model of the atom. Now in order to overcome the shortcoming of the Bohr's Rutherford model, the Bohr's model have given the postulate. The first is that the electron revolved around the nucleus in the circular orbit, and the number of the shells are there in which it can accommodate the different type of electron that already we have discussed, that the different type of shells are there, like the K shell, L shell and M shell. Now as you can see here that in the Bohr's model we can consider the various type of shells are there, like K shell, L shell, M shell and N shell. Okay, and so on, but basically we are studying till K, L, M and N. Okay, now here the Bohr have given the shell number to the each shell, K1, L2, M3 and N4, and accordingly the number of the electrons accommodated by it can be calculated by the formula 2n square. Okay, the energy of the orbit are fixed and these are called as the energy level or the shell. These are given by the letter K, L, M, N. Okay, and what happened now? What was the postulate of the Bohr's model? The first postulate was that the electrons, they are revolving in the discrete orbit called shell K, L, M and N, and while revolving the electrons would not radiate energy. Okay, it will not radiate energy, so that the electron never will fall into the nucleus. It will always keep on revolving in the various type of shell. Okay, so this was the postulate of the Bohr's model. Now here in the next we can see in the brief the comparison. It is given Thomson model. It consists of positively charged sphere and the electrons are embedded in that sphere. The positive and the negative charges are equal, and magnitude, hence the atom is electrically neutral. In the Thomson model, the positive and the negative charge both are same, so that the atom is electrically neutral. In the Rutherford model, what we have explained, the nucleus, the atom contains the heaviest particle, which is called the nucleus. The electrons revolve around the nucleus in a well defined circular orbit, and the size of the nucleus is very less as compared to the size of the atom. And in the Bohr's model, we have discussed that the electrons revolve into the discrete orbit. Okay, then they are revolving under the different energy level shells, which are called K, L, M and L. And as the electrons are revolving, they never lose energy. Okay, energy is emitted or absorbed by the atom when electron move from one orbit to another. Okay, so this is the comparison between the Thomson, Rutherford and the Bohr's model. Okay, so all these topics already we have done, it is just a revision of it. So all these questions you can write in your revision copy and practice.